Hi, it's Margie with the Asking Spot, and I'm asking, can I restore this back to something just as cute but not as rusty? Now, this go around, this is something I actually got from my neighbor's trash, and yeah, I always like to recycle and upcycle if I can, but it was pretty rusty, and I was almost not going to take it. But then I started watching videos from Repair Geek. He's another YouTuber. I'll have a link below. You can check him out. And he started looking into rust reformers, and he recommended BHT. Now, I didn't have access at my local close by store, so I'm going to try it with Rust-oleum and see how it goes. There's a fair bit of rust on this, so here goes. Gotta clean it up first. The basics with working with metal, though, is, are you up to date with your tetanus shot?
Tetanus.
Check. Yes, I am. I'm also going to be wearing eye protection. Don't want any little flecks going in my eyes. And if I'm protecting my eyes, I should also be protecting my lungs. So going to have a mask on as well. Brought this in, cleaned it up, used my favorite cleaner, vinegar and water, which did a splendid job with everything except for almost got it. Just couldn't get it all the way. I might give it another whack, but might just leave it. Now, as for the metal piece, I could use vinegar and water on it, but it's highly corrosive and you have to work super fast when you are doing vinegar on metal. This is such a thin metal, I just don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to use a scouring pad. But here's the really scary part.
Eyes.
I'm going to try and take these little marble eyes out so I don't spray over them and wreck them. Hopefully the metal will hold.
Like ASMR.
And normally, like I said, I love using vinegar and water to clean things, but vinegar is very corrosive to metal, so you wouldn't want to use it on this unless you were going to do all these different steps to prevent it from corroding any further. I have done it before on things, but it just requires working so super fast. A good thing to have, though, when you do that is something like this. This is an outdoor finishing spray top coat. The only thing is I actually want to paint this, so I can't use that. So the route I'm just going to do is just use a little scouring pad, clean it up some, dry it quickly using an old t-shirt, and then once it's completely dry, I will apply my, Rust Reformer. Rinsed it, dried it, and then applied some Rust Reform. Well, I finished the second coat of it and it is looking pretty good. I have to say though that I am not using it in the same way that, a lot of other people might use the Rust Reformer. It's not on a piece that's going to be used frequently or touched frequently, so I'm not as concerned about its flexibility or its, scratch resistance or adhesiveness, because it's pretty much going to sit on its own. Granted, outside, but we'll see how it weathers it all. Subscribe and check back in with me next Halloween time and we'll see what it looks like. But in the meantime though, there was something I wish I had done, and that is to sand it a bit smoother. Now, I'd like to pretend that that's okay. This was my brilliant idea all along, but it wasn't. But now that I do have it, I am going to go with a technique. It's called Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but I think it's like a Japanese technique where they actually celebrate the scars and flaws that make us who we are. And they do it by, highlighting it, adding gold to it. I am not going to add gold.
Gold?
Don't have it. But I am going to add some gold paint and maybe accentuate the issues.
Finally, many drafts later, it was finished.
All right, it's peculiarly wrapped cat. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. But basically, I'm leaving this part that I want to now turn gold. But first, I'm going to spray paint it black because that helps the bleed through not to happen. Then I'll put the gold spray on top of that. Well, it took until my just about last coat of paint to finally realize, oh hey, you know what you can do with a critter like this? You can shove a...
Butt stick!
Yeah, and having this stick, I had it in my little stand out there and it held great, and then I could easily bring it in the house and put it out here in the lanai in a pot that I have that's got some dirt, and it allowed it to dry very easily, and I was able to cover it with paint all the way around, so next time you have something that you can... Yeah, this works. But otherwise, I'm about to take everything off. I'm a little concerned because yes, gold and black, classic combo, saints, yeah. But I also, because I had it, I used it too. However, I got to thinking, and I'm a little concerned. Black and gold are great, but then throw in this sort of aqua blue, sort of teal. We're just gonna see. Kind of surprised by the results, but before we get to that, let's take a look back at where we started. And if you could, please click subscribe. If you've done so already, by all means, click thumbs up because that also really helps out the channel. Thank you. All right, now the final results. It's perfect for my Halloween decor. Although I have to admit, once I put a little LED candle in it and I saw the glow, yeah, after Halloween, this is going to be an indoor cat. I just think it turned out great. I hope it inspires you to look twice before you toss out something of metal and maybe give it another shot and save it from the landfill, because I loved how this turned out. Thanks so much for watching the Asking Spot. Cat bloopers next. Formers, things like this. Actually, if you watch one of the YouTubers I like to watch, it's Repair Geek. Right. But I am going to use a scouring pad. Oh dear, the neighbor's out. Now before I can move on to the gold top coat, I'm going to... Stop saying top coat. He's got chronic bronchitis, so... Really surprised by the results on this one, but first let's take a look at where we started. And if you could, please click subscribe. If you've done so already, by all means click I gotta do it again. All right, let's